here today to mark the formal partnership between the historic Virginia Union University and the National Institute of Minority Economic Development. You see it manifested as the Women's Business Center of Richmond, powered in part by the United States Small Business Administration. We have assembled a program of speakers that are designed to help crystallize this moment in time. And each of these individuals are known quantities. Their impact and their efforts have been recognized and rewarded. So they need not have lengthy introductions, but their presence here today marks the importance of strategic partnership and relationship for the benefit of our communities, our women entrepreneurs, our underserved students, and/or business minorities in general. If there's only one thing that you remember from my remarks today, I hope it would be that the promise of this collective bridge-building effort, know that it is bigger than the present. The promise is bigger than the present. When I think about giving leadership to the Women's Business Center of Richmond in partnership with Virginia Union, the idea of it being bigger than me, or you, or us, is the essence that is reflected in the hope that the access of change, not just AXIS, but ACCPSS, is big in favor of the underserved. The other night, I not only heard Tamika Mallory give a clarion call for accomplices, not just allies. I felt it. I felt her words. The bigger picture is demanding equity, parity, not only for social justice, but for economic opportunities to thrive. I'm of the opinion that the Institute and Virginia Union just might have stumbled upon a model capable of unlocking and empowering economic asset in the change of life that changes communities. And so that is our purpose of why we are assembled here today. To recognize that when good people come together to do good things, great things happen for others. And so we serve for that purpose. So again, I thank you and I welcome you. I would like to now bring up the president of this illustrious institution, number 13, for good luck.
Our district is led by women of color. And today we join in this moment to celebrate what we will do for our mothers, for our sisters, for our daughters in this moment. Man, do you remember this great name? Madam C.J. Walker, first African-American woman billionaire. Do you know this name, Maggie Walker? Her school is right there. Her statue, stone's throw away. First African-American woman to be the president of a bank, Richmond's own. And today, we get to celebrate the continuance of this legacy to promote generational wealth to generations that come. Our students come to Virginia Union University to find generational wealth, to break the chains of poverty, to erase the stains of racism, and to make a difference not just for themselves, but the promise of a limitless future that represents the generations to come. There's no other way for people of color to make a difference in economic and community development. We've searched for institutions in our communities for decades, and the historical Black college and university, the educational institution, is the transforming agent, it is the economic engine, it is the way in which we glue our people to generational wealth. Combined with the churches, combined with the middle class, combined with everyone in our community, and the empowerment of our people. Coming as should always be, uplifting women entrepreneurs. Not last, not second, but first. To lift you up and what you have done. From those who are here today, but some names who are not here but need to be called. We should call their names. Brittany Garber, you know her. Kelly Lemon, we all know her. Urban Hanson. Of course, we're here Sharon Oliver, but also Dean Davis, Arthur Davis of the Saturday, and our school business. We celebrate this moment. We thank you for coming. But never forget, today, you were part of history. Thank you.
The National Institute of Minority Economic Development has been laboring in the fields, in the boardroom, in corporate offices for 35 years, standing in the gap, providing voice to the voiceless. And you say, well, why do we do that? Somewhere in this city, there's a young girl right now who is in school online. She is going to grow up and own a very successful business in this community, employing hundreds of people. Right? Because she is going to engage and get to know the Women's Business Center of Richmond through Virginia Union University. Somewhere in this city, there is a great woman who has given all she can to her corporation, and she still doesn't feel fulfilled. She may feel like she's going to get laid off. She may have already gotten laid off. But she's going to launch her business. She will too get to know the Women's Business Center of Richmond and feel that much more empowered and have that many more skills to successfully launch her business and employ people in this community. See, I don't believe in coincidences. We're all in this place at this time on purpose. There's a reason why we're here. We've been blessed to have a certain set of skills, to be placed in certain rooms, to have certain things that allow situations for others to advance. That is an incredible responsibility, and one that the Institute takes very seriously. And so this is one of 3 centers we have. We have one in Durham, one in Charlotte, and we're continuing to grow. And I'm glad I'm joined by my board chair, Lou Myers, who's going to take some of my time and say something as well.
Good afternoon. I'm Lou Myers. I'm the chair of the board of the Institute, one of the co-founders. And as Kevin said, you've found this ground now for 35 plus years. I came up today, well, one, it was been on the board 1 year and a week, I believe. Because I was serving as interim, hired Kevin, and then later he called me and said, Lou, I'm closing the office. And but Kevin's a brilliant leader. We are blessed to have him. I just met Danny today, and I'm impressed with her. And good leaders find other good people. But I just really want to let you know that we're here, I'm here to let you know that Kevin can get what he needs to make this thing happen. That's a commitment from the board, because we have looked at Richmond for some time. It's a great place to be. And as Kevin said, the opportunity just came about, and we're pleased to be here. But you can count on us to be with you, and hopefully I'm around for the 10th-year celebration of the Richmond Women's Business Center. Thank you so very much for welcoming Kevin and for letting us be a part of this community.
I'm Dr. Robin Davis, Dean of the City Business School of Business at Virginia Union University. On behalf of the Academic Affairs Division, under the leadership of Dr. Terrell Strayhorn, we're excited to have you on our beautiful campus today. The School of Business, faculty, staff, and students, I'll take this off. We look forward to working with the Women's Business Center of Richmond team in order to assist us with expanding the economic impact and footprint of existing and aspirational entrepreneurs in the Richmond area. Also, I want to tell you a little bit about our students at VUU. The students in the School of Business, 85% of our graduates are, guess what, entrepreneur management majors. 85%. That says a lot. 75% of those students are female. 75%. So that says a lot about this Women's Business Center. So the Women's Business Center will help us have an opportunity for our students to enroll in entrepreneurship or accounting, marketing, and now we have hospitality management. We also just launched an executive MBA program with concentrations in supply chain management, hospitality, entrepreneurship, general MBA, and one that I'm very excited about, church management. So, thank you, Dr. Lucas. Thank you. Because see, Dr. Lucas is a transformational with transactional outputs. He's a visionary leader and understands that we have to have tactical things that we must do and to put in place. So thank you, Dr. Lucas, for your visionary leadership. We could not have done this without you. Also, thank you all for your presence and your attendance today, and especially for those of you who participated in helping us to be in this position to have this Women's Business Center on the great campus of Virginia Union University. Thank you, and have a great day.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
It's great to be here today. It's cloudy out and I see a rainbow, and it's here. And I can't say how happy and joyous I am that we have HBCU and a Women's Business Center together, because not only is it going to serve the community, but I see the young talent that comes up through the university that's going to help these women succeed, because they're going to get to tap our resources. And the numbers she quoted are so true. Our fastest growing market for entrepreneurship is minority women. So it's the ideal time to have something like that at this location. And we're totally excited at the Small Business Administration to have this here now at this time. As they say, timing is everything, and it's perfect. And I truly appreciate that happening. Ms. Brenda, who's my boss, unfortunately couldn't make it here today, but she sent audio visual presentation, and I'm going to let that proceed forward so you can see what she had to say about this. One thing is she understands what's going on, especially with COVID. She has a brewing company, and so they're the hardest hit for COVID, and she understands what businesses are suffering with. So she comes with that knowledge, which is a big help at this time, and she's a women's business owner, and she knows the challenges that it takes. So with that, I will let that start.
Administrator of the Office of Field Operations in 68 district offices. I know the value the SBA places on the role women-owned businesses play in our nation's economy. Small business is a women's issue. Entrepreneurship is a women's issue.
Unfortunately, the mayor's office wasn't available to be here, but he did provide a letter of congratulations, and I will read it in his absence. He says, "Greetings. It is my pleasure to congratulate you all on the grand opening of the Women's Business Center of Richmond. As we all strive to make the city of Richmond an equitable place to call home, this grand opening arrives at the perfect moment, serving as a catalyst, pushing us closer to a shared goal of supporting women and marginalized groups in a very real way. Minorities, and especially minority women, have often received the short end of the stick when it comes to them being able to actualize their entrepreneurship gender discrimination makes it inextricably harder to pursue ventures and limit variety and representation in the marketplace. Now more than ever, the services provided by the Women's Business Center of Richmond is vital to ensuring the resources and opportunities that are available to minority-owned women businesses truly reaching who they are intended for. All too often, resources are inaccessible, and the opening of the center will now remove barriers and provide hope where it is desperately needed. It is without a doubt that this opening will have a monumental impact on the lives of those it serves. Today, I didn't tell him to do this, he said, today, we pause to celebrate the hard work endured by many women business owners and women's business centers in general. Again, congratulations.
It's a pleasure to be with you all today, this afternoon. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity and invitation to be part of this opening of the Women's Business Center here in Richmond, Virginia. I, like most women, have a husband who likes to volunteer people things. But it's all good, it's wonderful. This is a wonderful connection to make, and I'm proud that he did so. Dr. Lucas told me to make sure I started. I spent about 5 years here at Virginia Union University as the Director of Sophomore Experience in what used to be the Center of General Studies and Detention. So I have some roots here, as you can see, I have all y'all's colors. Yes, indeed. But anyway, thank you so much again for Dr. Diane Green, just for accepting the responsibility to lead this endeavor here in Richmond, Virginia. We need strong Black women to be in power positions. And so I've had one conversation with you, and I can tell she's a powerful woman. To Dr. Lucas, thank you so much, Councilwoman. And to all of you who have seen panelists, it's such a pleasure to be here today. As we stated, I was appointed by Governor Rav Northam as the Deputy Chief Diversity Officer for the Commonwealth, and I have the opportunity to serve with the nation's very first cabinet level Chief Diversity Officer, Dr. Janice Underwood, who sends her greetings. She is in Norfolk today and wanted to be here and sent me and said, I really did try to get it. She called me and I was like, I'm going to try to get it on Dr. Underwood's schedule, but I'm glad that I was here to be able to meet all of you. This office was created to partner with state agencies as well as the state more broadly to promote a more equitable Commonwealth for everyone. So what exactly does this mean? The Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, which is really a whole team of incredible, powerful, and laser-focused women, I may add. The whole team of powerful minority women. We manage everything from working with agencies to create a more inclusive workplace, to drafting and reviewing legislation that operationalize equity across all systems. We also work with local school systems, local governments, and the private sector to examine ways we can work together in pursuit of inclusive excellence. What a great way to celebrate Women's History Month than by opening this particular Women's Business Center here in Richmond, right in the heart of the Commonwealth. In addition to our efforts in highlighting the successful women who have run through truths and leap over barriers, I knew where I was coming. And those that break glass ceilings and how inspirational they are, we shall all try to operationalize the 14th Amendment for women and the Equal Rights Amendment that was passed in Virginia this last year of 2020. We do this by holding our leaders to the promise of equality and justice for all. We do this by empowering women to use our voices to address the intentional systems created to perpetuate the exclusion of women in positions of power, by providing input and resources to women who are vying for equitable place in business spaces, and by providing support, mentorship, and coaching to the women doing the work, regardless of how many times there are setbacks as they endeavor to improve the lives of those around them. That's exactly how we do it, and that's what I believe the vision of this particular center is. The Governor's Office of Diversity and Inclusion is committed to linking arms with organizations like the Women's Business Center to help with this type of groundbreaking equity for all. We've done this with the 2021 General Assembly and the subsequent special session by supporting transformational legislation that will allow for the legalization of marijuana, but not just the legalization, but to ensure equity across all dimensions. So there is a reinvestment equity board that's going to allow for licensures specific to those who are most affected by the prohibition. So y'all look out for that. Creating a permanent equity working group for all emergency and disaster declarations by FEMA. Mandating that all state agencies establish and maintain a comprehensive diversity, equity, and inclusion strategic plan. Lastly, and we're excited about this, we're working diligently with the Secretary of Administration to ensure equitable procurement throughout state agencies as it concerns our small, women, and minority businesses by setting SWAM certified business procurement goal. We have a goal now of 42%, with a specific goal that 23.1% of all the procurement goes specifically to women and minority-owned businesses. And so these laws will not only codify equity, but hold people in the most senior leadership positions accountable for developing policies that will help our great state achieve inclusive excellence. I am so proud again to be a part of this opening of the Women's Business Center in Richmond, and I believe that it's through organizations like this that we will cultivate women who will become change agents, operate with solid character and ethical standards, and create meaningful changes throughout the Commonwealth. Again, I thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much.
So, during our chat, as I questioned her as to why me, she simply indicated the qualities and the reasons why she selected me. Simply put, she gave another sister the opportunity to shine. She took the opportunity to adjust the crown of another queen's head. And what I say to this is thank you for doing that, because she made me show up, okay? So I am honored today to have the privilege to speak at the opening of the Women's Business Center here in Richmond. The very presence of this entrepreneurial resource will provide a monumental impact on the community and the lives of the women that will be served. My personal story. Now, for most of you that know me, I'm very transparent, so I don't have an eloquent speech for you today, but I'm going to speak with passion because that's what I know. And because I'm actually an efficient, I'm going to try not to take us to church, okay? My father is a pastor, so being a pastor's daughter for 48 years, you know, I told my co-host, I said, oh, my mom earlier, I said, Mom, I'm going to try not to take these people to the house of the Lord. But I remember telling God, I said, you know, as I turned on some praise music, and here I go, as this is not even on this iPad at all. I said, God, you've not given us the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. And today, I need you to be present in the room because you opened up a door. And that's really what entrepreneurship is the ability to show up for yourself and for others. So I want to talk to you a little bit about my personal story of becoming the chief executive of my life. Now, many times before, when I was walking around in Capital One wearing stilettos and tight dresses, according to the dress code, I always looked down on soccer moms and thought the ladies, the cute little ladies with the white bands, with all the children hollering at the grocery store, oh, they're not a CEO. But when I get in my business, I'm going to be a CEO and I'm going to wear pencil dresses and cute stilettos. Well, I soon figured out, once I went into my own business, that being the chief CEO is just being the chief executive of your own life. And that's so valuable. So when we were little girls, some of us had a dream of finding Ken, which I did, our little Barbie convertible, and that cute little pink house with the white picket fence. As we move through life, we start to become more aware of our likes and our dislikes. Thus, this starts to form beginning stages of the idea that we are deemed and created to become great. Usually we have 3 or 4 ideas and we resolve and evolve as life will have it. Some of us choose the path of entrepreneurship. During my 10 years in corporate America, I realized every no automatic draft pending. It was then that I realized that I had now taken the lead. Fast forward, the decision was made months in advance to prepare a strategy and a nest egg. So I would later go on to create and to take our early childhood education certifications so that I could open up my own daycare. While operating daycare, I began to observe the struggle of the single mothers that were living on assistance and were striving to provide a better life for their children. I can vividly remember a mom that would walk 2 miles with her little one on her back, in a backpack, during the sunny and snowy days to get her child to daycare so she could get to work. From this observation, CEO Magazine was born to give women a voice. Our tagline was supporting women who do it all. When this dream began to settle in my spirit, what started as an ambitious thought grew into a burning desire to serve and to be a source of hope for women who had no voice, no choice, and little confidence in their own ability. Early in life, I faced several obstacles myself that almost derailed my mission to serve and the threat of my own life's ambition of building a thriving business to help take care of my family. 23 years later, I found myself divorced and redefining what CEO meant to me. It has taken on a new meaning. Now, CEO has become being the chief executive of your life. Becoming executive of your own life is choosing to do life on your terms. Creating a life to develop your own personal faith and trust in God, to see the invisible, to dream the impossible, and to navigate your own way. That is what entrepreneurs are doing. They're creating life on their own terms, seeing, believing, and dreaming, and trusting the God that they know. Shortly after the divorce, I forced on to create life on my terms and to show up for me. Today, as I was preparing to come here, I called my son. My son's name is Braxton. Braxton was serving at that time as an officer in the United States Army. And we were going back, his father at that time when I was married, we were going back and forth because he was a soldier, officer, and he was having a stuttering problem. I knew all too well how this could hold him back because my father also, being a pastor, was a stutterer. And the only time that he could talk was when he was in the pulpit. I guess God just knew that we had to be served. So I remember vividly little boys calling, and we wanted to impress them, and we would try to run to the phone to get there before Dad would get there, but Dad would always answer the phone. And we're standing back there like, why would you answer the phone? But we were too afraid to say that because back in the country, they allowed you to get your own switch. How many of y'all know about that? Don't go out and get a little switch because then you have to do what? Go get a bigger switch. Absolutely. And so after that, I talked to Braxton. He said, Braxton, I told him what I had to do. And he said, Mom, you can do this. And I said, you know what, Braxton, I'm so reminded of how when we were in the service, one of the captains said, one of his fellow officers told the captain and said, Braxton really can't talk. And he says, well, he shouldn't have signed up for the Army. And so he called home and told me that. And I remember just praying for him, and I said, God, you got to do something. Because it's nothing like the heart of a mom. We always want our children to excel. And so I said to him, as I'm over there trying to navigate somebody in Germany to get speech therapy for him, etc., and he just could not talk. And at times, Braxton would call him to talk to me, and he would just stutter so badly. One day I almost got chuckled because I said, Braxton, what are you doing? And he was like, Mom, I'm trying. I said, okay, Braxton, what are you reading? What are you reading? And he started reading books on the power of visualization and seeing himself speak. And so he would imagine himself in class being able to give the answers before he even got there. And so I told him today, he said, and now he's gone on to not only be just an officer, but now he's a sergeant, and God has brought him safely back here to Fort Lee. And so he told me, and then he went on to establish a YouTube channel, etc. And then now he's recently back here at Fort Lee from Germany. And he said, Mom, he called me before I got here. He said, Mom, I actually conducted my very first class teaching 23 soldiers. And so just thinking about that, I said, Braxton, I can do this. He said, Mom, you got this. He said, Mr. Mark, you can stand up in church and talk about the power of electricity. You can do this. So, our children are depending on us. And so entrepreneurs, they're looking at us. So he's looking and expecting me to get up here today and to deliver this to you, which I'm going to do. So from that, CEO Magazine was started to give women a voice and a platform to support women who do it all. After that, CEO Network, becoming the chief executive of life, became a mission for me, and we started CEO Network, which is now known as the Creators Playground, comprised of beautiful law spaces known as Club CEO, CEO Studios. These are multi-use event spaces that echo the taglines such as Create, Dream, and Explore, and our filming studio is called CEO Studios, whose tagline is Give Your Dreams Motion. Much like CEO Network, who prides itself on seeing women take the dreams from thoughts to execution and winning, the Women's Business Center here will have women coming through the doors with creative thoughts, and they will need funding and resources to create sustainability. I applaud Virginia Dean and Dr. Danny on taking on this challenge to strengthen those women and the families that they will inspire each and every night. Strategic partnerships are invaluable as we navigate through uncertain times. We have seen how partnerships have played a significant role in helping small businesses to weather the storms. When a business closes, not only is there a financial impact, but it is the light that dims in the business owner's soul. For many of us, these businesses are our life works, and we are told as women that we can't or that we won't. We will take the mindset of watch me work. In closing, today, I leave with you, never underestimate the power of collaboration and building a very strong network. And just as Dr. Danny Green has done, demonstrated the adjusting of my crown, remember to adjust your sister's crown as well. Thank you again for this opportunity to continue to serve the community. And remember, don't count the cost of the journey because the self-discovery will be priceless. Thank you. And create your life